time. This is Fox 14 News at 9.
A phony threat leads to some real consequences. More on the false alarm that lands a woman in El Dorado behind bars. And the freshman 15 isn't the only thing weighing on college students. We'll explore ways to deal with anxiety that comes with being a first-year freshman. Plus, preparing for the worst just days after a scare on campus. See how LSU handled today's active shooter drill. Thank you for choosing Fox 14. I'm Sarah Scarlett. First on Fox, an El Dorado woman is in custody for posting about a shooting that never even happened. Fox 14's Gabrielle Pfeiffer spoke with the police on the crime that they say will not be tolerated.
Social media is a powerful tool, and if used the wrong way, it might get you thrown in jail.
Enough probable cause was made to make an arrest on Megan Hall for communicating a false alarm.
That false alarm made by 28-year-old Megan Hall caused much panic Friday morning at Barton Junior High. Hall reportedly made a Facebook post saying they're shooting at Barton. That post spread across social media and had many parents worried.
This caused a massive disruption at the school, which led to dozens and dozens of children being checked out by their parents.
Now Hall could be facing up to 6 years in prison or have to pay a fine up to but not exceeding $10,000. It's a serious crime that police say will not be tolerated.
We will take this seriously, and we always do.
Before you post or spread rumors, verify that information first. The El Dorado School District says they will always communicate to parents through various methods when an actual threat is being made.
We have several ways that we can communicate with parents. We have our website. We do have social media. We have a mass calling system that we can use if we need to.
School officials urge parents to make sure their contact information is up to date at their child's school. Reporting in El Dorado, Gabrielle Pfeiffer, Fox 14 News.
Hall is set to appear in district court next Monday. LSU holds an active shooter drill following that false alarm on campus. The training was held this morning at the Student Recreation Complex. Officials say the exercise was scheduled before Tuesday's incident. During the threat, the university sent out a tweet telling students to run, hide, or fight, which caused an uproar on social media. Run, Hide, and Fight is a national campaign initiative for an active shooter situation through ready.gov. Fight is a last resort option for anyone in that situation and encourages people to run or hide first. New at 9, as college students are settling into their dorms, so is their anxiety. Fox 14's Anna McAllister is back from speaking to local college students about their struggles with stress. Anna?
Sarah, it's no secret that college can be stressful, especially at the beginning of a new year. We take a look at the statistics of anxiety with college students and what local undergrads are saying about dealing with mental health. Despite the scorching summer temperatures, school is back in session, or just about to be, for our local college students. And as many undergrads are settling in their dorms, so is the stress.
I know I'm taking 5 classes right now, and I have so much homework to do all the time, so I'm always stressed out and have anxiety that I'm not going to get something done in time.
Junior Rayleigh Filial is no stranger to back-to-school stress. The mass communications major says she struggled with anxiety and other mental health issues from the beginning.
My freshman year, I battled depression, anxiety, stress, all of the above, and it was really hard for me to deal with because I just, got out of high school. I felt like I was kind of pushed into the world.
Filial is not alone. According to a 2019 study by Harvard Medical School, 63% of college students in the U.S. felt overwhelming anxiety this past year. In the same survey, 23% reported being diagnosed or treated by a mental health professional for anxiety in the past year. There are several factors that cause it, including lack of sleep, excessive caffeine intake, and worries about finances.
Just making sure that I have the money to get through college is pretty stressful.
You can cope with the stress of school by approaching your issues head-on, practicing self-care, and utilizing counseling services on campus. And just remember, it does get better.
I was in a really deep, dark place my freshman year of college, and I've grown from it because I learned to put, other people aside and focus on myself first.
According to the Harvard study, U.S. college students are more stressed out than ever before. The study recommends that parents and educators develop an open communication with students to help them navigate through their issues. Live in the studio, Anna McAllister, Fox 14 News.
Thanks, Anna. Memorial events honoring former Louisiana Governor Kathleen Blanco are shifting to Lafayette. A public visitation for the state's only female governor is underway in St. John the Evangelist Cathedral in Lafayette. A prayer service will follow in the evening. Blanco served as governor for one term from 2004 to 2008 and led Louisiana during Hurricanes Katrina and Rita. She died Sunday from cancer at the age of 76. A funeral mass is scheduled for Blanco at the cathedral in Lafayette tomorrow. It'll be followed by a private burial. And memorial services for a New Orleans anchor and journalist killed in a plane crash 1 week ago were held today. Nancy Parker, longtime anchor at WVUE Fox 8 News, died in a plane crash last Friday afternoon in New Orleans East. Parker anchored in New Orleans for 22 years. She was on assignment with Franklin Augustus, a member of a Louisiana group that honored Tuskegee Airmen. Augustus also died in the crash. A Marouge man is dead following a two-car crash in Morehouse Parish. Louisiana State Police say it happened this morning around 11:30 on LA 3051, just east of Highway 138. They say 78-year-old Olin Haynes was heading west on 3051 when he lost control and hit the back of a tractor trailer. The big rig then overturned. The driver and the tractor trailer survived the crash, but Haynes was killed. State police say both drivers were wearing their seatbelts. And a burglary suspect is caught in the act by deputies in Natchez. Adams County Sheriff's booked Clinton Blackwell on burglary of a church. He's accused of stealing from a church on Cranfield Road. Deputies say that Blackwell was still inside when they arrived, but ran into the woods. Investigators say the church safe door was damaged and a small amount of cash was missing. Blackwell had also reportedly left his pit bull inside the church. Deputies recovered several items in the surrounding area that they believe to belong to Blackwell. And now Jared joins us from the Weather Center. Are we expecting more rain?
Yep, kind of. If you missed out on today, there's always tomorrow or Sunday or, quite frankly, the way we're going, Monday. So we're going to be dealing with those rain chances through the weekend. Outdoor plans, maybe want to have an indoor alternative. Forecast is next on Fox.
Okay, thanks, Jared. Also coming up on Fox 14, take it as a sign. West Monroe is growing and hoping to attract more visitors. We'll tell you about the $1 Million Project.
Are you a DirecTV or AT&T UVerse subscriber who can no longer watch our sister station, Fox 14, through your television provider? First, we apologize for the inconvenience, as DirecTV and AT&T has refused to accept our parent company's offer to extend negotiations to avoid disruption to your service. We encourage you to reach out to DirecTV and AT&T at the number on your screen to express your concern for not receiving programming from KARD Fox 14, in addition to the most accurate weather forecast and local news that protects and informs you and your family.
News sponsored by Marie's Medical. It's another march through the playoffs, and your Go Black and Gold team is tracking the Houdat the whole way. Tune in as we break down the plays, matchups, and reports from inside the locker room. Then sound off and make your opinion heard as we go Black and Gold tonight at 9:30 on Fox 14. Brought to you by Go Auto. News, weather, and sports. Follow us on the KTVE NBC 10 KARD Fox 14 Facebook page.
You want a quality pre-owned vehicle? Then shop CarTown, where each car has been run through a 50-point inspection process and comes with a 2-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Quality vehicles at affordable prices is what CarTown has been doing for more than 50 years. Shop us at usedcargiants.com.
Like a summer romance, a perfect tan, or a plate of ribs. Some things are just too good to last. Like 20% estimated savings on select Ford models. Plus, earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards. The final days of the Hurry Up and Save sales event end soon. So get here before pumpkin spice shows up in everything and these deals ride off into the sunset. It's the last chance to get 20% estimated savings on Ford F-150. Hurry in because offer ends September 3rd. Only at your Southern Quality Ford dealer.
When Ralph Abraham ran for Congress, he made a promise.
Elected, I've told you that I would donate my salary to St. Jude's and the Independence Organization.
That's right. Abraham promised to donate his salary to sick children and wounded veterans. But for years, Abraham secretly pocketed that salary, even though he's worth more than $12 million. And now he wants to be governor? Ralph Abraham.
Donate my salary.
Looking out for himself, not you. Paid for and authorized by Gumbo Pack.
John Kleigel's here for Interstate and West Monroe. It's our summer clearance event and our anything for trade sale. Bring it in, whatever it is. We're taking it for trade towards your new vehicle. Boats, jewelry, four-wheelers, even livestock. And you get to drive your new vehicle, a Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, or Fiat of your dreams. Shop InterstateDodge.com. We're taking anything, so bring it in to Interstate Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in West Monroe.
Hi folks, Cartown's been on Louisville Avenue for over 50 years, taking care of all your vehicle needs. And with over 200 in stock, it's a great time to shop usedcargiants.com or come see us at the foot of Louisville Bridge, Monroe, West Monroe.
Live Storm Tracker Doppler Radar, sponsored by bankruptcy attorney E. Orem Young. Now, Storm Tracker weather with Chief Meteorologist Jared Floyd.
A look at the live Storm Tracker Doppler radar brought to you by E. Orem Young. Most of the rain has wrapped up across the ArkLaMiss today. We did see a nice, healthy scattering of showers and storms across our region. Much needed, especially for our folks in South Arkansas that finally saw some rainfall today. And we got a decent band of scattered storms that developed and moved through portions of South Arkansas this evening. Again, if you missed out on the rain today, there are more promising prospects headed our direction, not only tomorrow, but also Sunday and into Monday. And again, that's a bummer for folks with outdoor plans. I know we've got the big Chill Fest planned in Monroe and West Monroe in Central Ouachita Parish, and of course a lot of folks planning on going to that. Wouldn't say don't go, especially considering the fact that most of our activity will be scattered in nature and should be non-severe. So keep an eye on the radar, keep your umbrella handy, and download our weather app. Take it with you where you go this weekend, and just be on the lookout for some menacing skies that may develop from time to time in your area. Stationary boundary to our north, continuing to slowly sag southward. It's kind of been waffling back and forth over the coming days, but is in a general motion southward, and that provides a little bit of focus for some of those showers and storms again tomorrow. Now, I will preface it by saying this. Future Tracker here doesn't really indicate a whole lot in the way of widespread rainfall, but it does indicate a lot of cloud cover. That stationary boundary is still in place, so all the ingredients are in place. It's just this one particular pass of the model is not overly aggressive with a lot of the widespread rainfall. Same for Sunday. More of the scattered activity with this stationary boundary in place. The ingredients will be set up, and at this point, even lingering storms into Monday seem to be a possibility. Once we get beyond that, though, a return to the summertime pattern. Mid-90s for highs, the pop-up showers and storms, but that's only short-lived as well. Bigger changes in store after that, and you'll see that in the 7-day forecast in just a minute. Most of us have already dropped into the upper end of the 70s, and you could thank the rain-cooled air from earlier today for a lot of that. El Dorado and Shreveport, the lone areas at 80 degrees at the top of the 9 o'clock hour, and that's a pretty big accomplishment for late August, considering we've spent so much of our time in August closer to 90 degrees this time of night instead of in the upper end of the 70s. Low 70s is pretty much where we'll stop as the clouds continue through the overnight time frame. That will really keep us from seeing temperatures really bottom out overnight. And there's a lot of humidity and low-level moisture in place, too. So it's not like we were going to drop off into the upper 60s tonight anyway. Upper 80s for highs tomorrow. Showers and storms expected, but nowhere near as warm widespread across the region. As I mentioned yesterday, and I'll mention it again for tomorrow, if you miss out on the rain, 93, 94 degrees, certainly a possibility. Camden saw 95 today, so that just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Upper 80s to low 90s as the rain starts to clear out first part of next week. Mid-90s for highs by Tuesday and Wednesday with morning lows in the mid-70s. And beyond that, maybe by late Thursday or early Friday, a cold front will move through that could bring some pretty dramatic changes for the Labor Day holiday weekend, with highs back well into the 80s and morning lows well into the 60s. And so that's some pretty big changes that we're hoping to hang our hat on as we head toward the Labor Day holiday weekend.
Something we can look forward to.
Absolutely. And for the summertime, that's always a big victory.
Definitely. All right. Thanks, Jared.
You bet.
Well, Ouachita Parish is home to many tourist attractions. However, we're lacking a key aspect that gives visitors a great experience. But it won't be that way for much longer. Fox 14's Maya Hudgens spoke with the Visitors Bureau about this new addition that's coming.
Attractions can make or break a vacation location. That's why the Monroe-West Monroe Visitors Bureau has decided to take on a signage project to make sure visitors find all the activities Ouachita Parish has to offer.
We did research that showed it's something that definitely enhances and increases the satisfaction with a visitor's experience with the town when they can find the locations very easily.
Visitors won't have to search online for hours for things to do. Instead, artsy metal signs will be placed on streets and highways throughout the parish. When they see a sign that interests them, they just have to follow the directions.
Maybe not necessarily right on I-20. They're a little bit off the beaten path. So to get them there, get them securely there, and get them in front of a cash register, making more economic impact. That's the whole overall goal.
A lot of benefits come with these signs, and tourism leaders are hoping a positive experience will result in a return visit.
And you don't want somebody to come to town and want to go somewhere and not get there. That's a negative experience.
This project is being paid by the Visitors Bureau, costing right at $1 million. The Bureau believes pouring this kind of money into the parish will help the city develop.
When you go to other towns, other cities, they've already got this set up. So I think we're catching up with something that's been needed to be done.
In addition, attraction owners are hoping the signs will remind locals of all the things in their backyard.
Hopefully it'll help local people realize what an important thing tourism is in this area. We bring in a lot of money amongst the different museums that we've got in town.
In Ouachita Parish, I'm Maya Hutchins, Fox 14 News.
Coming up on Fox 14, a romance scam targets people worldwide. We'll have the latest on what's being called one of the largest scams of its kind.
Other companies may say that they're affiliated with us, but don't be fooled. If you don't see Air Service Professionals on the side of the truck, then it's just not us.
When you see an Air Pro stand at your door, you know you're getting a whole lot more.
It's Honda's Summer Spectacular event at North Louisiana's favorite Honda store, Ryan Honda in Monroe. When it's gotta be a Honda, and it's gotta be the best possible price, you know it's gotta be Ryan Honda on Oliver Road. Shop over 200 Hondas with special summertime discounts. This summer, drive new HRVs or CRVs for $159 a month. $159 a month. Come see why so many people are buying at Ryan. Ryan Honda. Your Honda, your way. RyanHondaMonroe.com.
It's a lobster and crab celebration at Captain D's. Go ahead, pinch yourself. See, you are awake. And all this premium lobster and tasty crab is a reality. It's a crackin' summer celebration when the captain is calling. Captain D's.
Hey. Really? Hi, guys.
We like the gray.
It's car buying season at Nissan's Bottom Line Model Year-End event. Get the bottom line on the last of our 2019s, like the Tech Advanced Rogue and Altima. Hurry in for Model Year-End savings on our full line. Now, save up to $3,500 or get a low $199 per month lease on the 2019 Nissan Rogue.
Just in time for the Second Amendment sales tax holiday, it's the Polaris factory authorized clearance. Bayou Power Sports has big rebates up to $3,500 on the best Polaris ATV, up to $1,000 on Polaris Sportsman, $1,200 on General, $1,500 on Polaris Rangers. Plus, lay away your new Polaris at Bayou Power Sports. Pick it up September 6th or 7th and pay only 4.45% sales tax. Bayou Power Sports, I-20 Frontage Road, just past Sam's Monroe.
CashNetUSA.com, man. I help when money's tight. If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as tomorrow.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
John Klegol's here for Interstate and West Monroe. It's our summer clearance event and our anything for trade sale. Bring it in, whatever it is. We're taking it for trade towards your new vehicle. Boats, jewelry, four-wheelers, even livestock. And you get to drive your new vehicle, a Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, or Fiat of your dreams. Shop InterstateDodge.com. We're taking anything, so bring it in to Interstate Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in West Monroe.
Is it time to upgrade your HVAC system? Don't delay. We have great financing offers that fit any budget on the most dependable, efficient systems available. Call us now and schedule your free in-home estimate. Your comfort has never been more affordable. We're Air Pros in West Monroe and Ruston.
Fox 14 News at 9 continues.
The U.S.-China trade war heating up again Friday evening as President Trump announced tariff hikes on hundreds of billions of dollars on Chinese goods. It's the latest move in the ongoing tariff increases between Washington and Beijing. Camila Burnell explains.
The U.S.-China trade war escalating even further Friday afternoon. In a series of tweets, President Trump announced that starting October 1st, $250 billion of goods and products from China currently being taxed at 25% will be taxed at 30%. Additionally, the remaining $300 billion of Chinese goods that was being taxed from September 1st at 10% will now be taxed at 15%. This comes after China announced new tariffs Friday morning on $75 billion worth of U.S. goods.
My reaction to this is when China reacts like this, what they simply do is strengthen the resolve of this president.
The Chinese tariffs came as retaliation to U.S. tariffs on imports worth $300 billion, fueling the ongoing trade war.
Frankly, nobody's winning, but I also frankly think the U.S. is losing even more than is China.
The Chinese tariffs will phase in. The first round, effective September 1st, includes a 10% tariff on goods like seafood, beef, chicken, wheat, soybeans, and steel. A 5% tariff will be imposed on cream, turkey, and chemicals. Then, on December 15, 10% tariffs will be imposed on goods like coffee, corn, motorcycles. And a 5% tariff will include whiskey, cigars, clothing, TVs, lights, automobile parts, and pens. China also plans to resume a 25% tariff on American cars.
This trade war and these tariffs are going to decrease economic growth.
In Washington, I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
Looking for love in all the wrong places. Dozens of people all over the world were swindled out of their money. 80 people are charged in a dating scam the FBI is calling, quote, one of the largest of its kind. They're charged with fraud, money laundering, and identity theft. In all, roughly $10 million stolen, all online. The scammers targeted the elderly, vulnerable, lonely, or lovelorn on dating sites and social media.
This case involved 32 confirmed victims. Victims were located in the United States, as well as in Japan, the UK, Lebanon, Ukraine, China, Mexico, Germany, Indonesia, UAE, and Trinidad and Tobago.
Investigators say this scam was run by two Nigerian men in the Los Angeles area with the help of associates back home and in other countries. Up next, Jared has one last look at your 7-day forecast. That's next on Fox 14. Stay with us.
Search for a really strong glue that's clear.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Clear glue. Clear Gorilla Glue.
Of course. Gorilla Glue strength in a crystal clear formula for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
All right. Spicy tuna. Nice. California roll. Sushi. I'll take it.
Delivering from over 95,000 restaurants nationwide. If you want it all, you can get it all. Grubhub. Restaurants you love delivered.
Like a summer romance, a perfect tan, or a plate of ribs. Some things are just too good to last. Like 20% estimated savings on select Ford models. Plus, earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards. The final days of the Hurry Up and Save sales event end soon. So get here before pumpkin spice shows up in everything and these deals ride off into the sunset. It's the last chance to get 20% estimated savings on select Ford SUVs. Hurry in. Offer ends September 3rd. Only at your Southern Quality Ford dealer.
Ryan Chevrolet's $1 million truck and SUV sale has launched. You choose. Save $11,000 off new Silverado 1500s or 2500s. That's $11,000 off Silverado 1500s or 2500s. Shop a great selection of Silverados in stock. Buy today and get $11,000 off Silverados. Shop one of North Louisiana's largest Chevrolet and used car inventories online at RyanChevy.com or on Oliver Road in Monroe. Ryan Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy truck and SUV dealer in Northeast Louisiana.
From the start, the C-Class was ahead of its time. Still, we never stopped making it stronger, faster, smarter. Because to be the best is to never, ever stop making it better. There's never been a better time to become part of the Mercedes-Benz family. Lease the C300 sedan for just $389 a month at the Mercedes-Benz summer event. Hurry in now. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Now, it's time for your Go Nation Report, sponsored by Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys.
The LSU Tigers are 8 days away from beginning their first march down Victory Hill to begin the 2019 season. But before they can make this march, they have to overcome a fall camp that's been filled with injuries. And that's where we start LSU's 3 keys to the game. Caleb Von Chason, Grant Delpit, Christian Fulton, and even Joe Burrow. Some highlighted names, but not close to the number of players to miss at least one practice. The Tigers cannot play to their full potential if they're not all on the field. Secondly, offensive line. The Tigers' veteran O-linemen have said multiple times their performance last year is not going to cut it this season. And for this new offense to work, they have to keep Burrow protected. And third, the guys next to Burrow behind that O-line, running backs. And with freshman John Emery and Tyrion Davis-Price raising eyebrows, those young backs must provide support for junior Clyde Edwards-Helaire, especially if the Tigers want to keep this new offense balanced. We'll see how the Tigers finish their fall camp in their final scrimmage on August 24th as they turn their eyes towards Georgia Southern for their August 31st season opener. For your Go Nation coverage, I'm Jared Joseph.
Final look at the 7-day forecast shows afternoon highs in the upper end of the 80s as we head through the weekend. Plan accordingly. We do have showers and storms daily, Saturday, Sunday, even into Monday, with morning lows in the low end of the 70s. If you miss out on the rain, obviously mid-90s, upper 90s, certainly a possibility, probably more mid-90s than anything. It'll be a pretty tough stretch with all the cloud cover to see 97, 98 over the next couple of days. Big cold front headed our way late next week. We'll keep an eye on it. And in the meantime, a little bit of a warm-up for the middle part of next week.
The end of a police pursuit caught on camera in Texas will leave you breathless. Jeremy Roth has today's. Take a look at this.
A Texas pursuit ended with a driver attempting to ram through a police barricade. The suspect fled after a report of a violent assault that had occurred. After more than a 20-mile pursuit, police used their vehicles to block the road. That's when the suspect attempted to plow through. Thankfully, there were no officers inside the SUV that was struck. The suspect was treated for non-life-threatening injuries and is facing multiple charges. Crockett police shared the video to, quote, show what our officers face on a daily basis. Not every situation police officers face is life-threatening, but this one in Massachusetts definitely reeked of danger. Cambridge officer Dan McGinty must have picked the short straw when they were deciding who would rescue this skunk whose head was stuck in a yogurt cup. Well, because no good deed goes unpunished, as soon as McGinty freed the little guy, he got a face full of skunk stank for his troubles. And finally, cops aren't the only ones out there risking life and limb for furry friends in peril. Watch this Good Samaritan free a panicked deer from a soccer net in New York. Woo! Truck driver Todd Brush spotted the animal in distress and stopped to help. The frightened deer thrashed around violently as Brush slowly approached it, pinned the animal down, and used a pocket knife to cut the entangled net from its antlers. The rescue took several minutes, but Brush's efforts paid off when the deer ran free. Take a look at this. Woo! I'm Jeremy Roth.
It's kind of surreal looking, isn't it, to see a deer caught in the net?
Deer didn't even say thank you.
Kind of rude. Wow. I guess he had other things to do. I don't know.
Hey, he could have used a term of endearment.
That was a good one.
I'm proud of that one. Even for a Friday, that was pretty good.
I like that one.
Yeah, we'll use that one from now on.
Endearment.
Every time we have a deer story.
Yep. All right. Well, that's going to be it for us. We'll see you back here on Monday. Have a great night.